Hi, everybody. Good old power of the internet. Waiting for you all to join. There's Corbin. I'm shocked you sniped that first. It always used to be Hound. See, there's Hound. Always used to snipe the first on the streams. Did anyone notice the surprise when they got to the channel? Anyone? You probably should have seen it. I survived the surgery. Scott, that's a plus. So, my decision with how I wanted to handle my other content was BPGR Live is pretty much a place where I use it as like a podcast, and most of what I talk about tends to be politically oriented on here anyways, or targeted towards firearms, or even education about topics that I may normally not address on the main channel. What up, Matthew? So, yeah, so I actually did the whole reskin of this channel like 4 or 5 days ago. I was waiting to see if anyone actually caught it before I decided to do a live stream. Here we are. No one got it first. The wife did some good work, I feel, on the rebrand and the reskin, and it's different enough to where it keeps it separated from my other channel. So we are going to start having a lot of videos on here. I will probably start using my drive streams possibly as like a podcast, and I'll probably do like one a week, maybe. It's kind of where I'm leaning right now. So there's going to be more videos on here, though. That would be the good news. But I have 2 monetized channels. 2. So sitting here and trying to earn monetization on Unloaded or all of these other things that I've been trying to do, it's easier to consolidate. And a lot of times I ask myself, why the fuck do I have so many channels? And I can never get an answer to the Saturday evening podcast with the other people. My schedule started changing constantly at work due to us being a manager short. So I would get home and have like no time to really set it up or chit chat with the other people. And it was just becoming a little stressful. I may try to bring that back in the form of one of those a month. But I will also, so we're going to talk a little bit about things that I currently want to do and things that I'm planning on doing. I'm going to be streaming once a week on Twitch is hopefully the goal right now. I'm going to try for every week, and I want to do what's called a Throwback Thursday stream. I want to do a stream every Thursday where I play a game that is not a current game. So like I might do like Half-Life 2, or I might do like the original Halo games, stuff along those lines. And I'm not going to shy away from still talking about like social issues on my main channel, but my firearm content will live on here after I'm done with the videos I want to do on the main channel about them. I thought this was dead. No, I've just been really tired after I get off of work. Like, I'm closing tonight. Half-Life 3 confirmed. Anytime someone mentions Half-Life 2, you know Half-Life 3 is just coming. So, this will be where I've also got some surprises. We're not going to actually import over any of the old videos. I'm going to reshoot a lot of them. So, that was kind of the end goal of that. Done, channel rebranded, new intro will be coming soon. The wife has some plans for that, for this channel. We may even be reworking the main channel intro. So, I've got, like, time to do certain things. I'm just, like, really stressed out here and there just because of all the stuff at work. But obviously I'm still getting things accomplished. But I've felt like this channel needed something. And here it is. If it's gaming related, no one gets offended when I put it on the main channel. So I mostly stream on there when I do stream. But I want to try to start doing one stream a week on Twitch. That way, if something does ever happen with YouTube, I have that as my backup plan. I mean, it already kind of is my backup plan if shit goes really south. Not saying it will. I don't think YouTube's like randomly going to come to my house and shank me or anything. But that's accomplished. So another thing that I have planned in the works, we have some new employees at my work, and two of them actually have never fired firearms before, and one of them was actually not, we won't say anti-firearm, he just kind of told me why he didn't agree with people being allowed to own an AR-15, and a lot of it was based off of misconception that was all wrong. So this upcoming Thursday, I am taking them shooting. Yeah, you probably have never had a boss that takes their employees to a shooting range, not to shoot them, but to teach them. I'm all about that education. Gotta get you an education, boy. So that'll be a fun video. It's going to be titled First Time Shooter. That get demonetized? Might get demonetized if I use the word shooter. But since it'll be here on this channel, I should have the capability of disputing the shit out of that. So some of the misconceptions he had, I am going to go over in that video. But one of them was he told me you wouldn't hunt a deer with an AR-15 because it's so powerful it would destroy the pelt, which is wrong. So it is a very fast-moving bullet, but a 5.56 round is actually not a very powerful bullet. Unless you are landing a shot on that deer directly in the head, the reason why you wouldn't hunt with a 5.56 chambered rifle usually is because it doesn't have enough power to drop the deer. Most hunting rifles actually shoot a much larger round. He also was under the misconception that it could shoot faster than most hunting rifles, which again is inaccurate because most hunting rifles are semi-automatic. You can get a bolt-action rifle, but most people don't. You could hunt a rabbit with an AR-15, and it actually wouldn't damage the pelt. And if you had like coyotes and stuff like that, 5.56 would be ideal for that. Like using an RPG on a roach. I would use an RPG on a roach. I hear the best way to cleanse your house of roaches is with fire. Or by just burning the whole motherfucker down. I don't want to say I'm going to move to like a non-family friendly kind of version of myself, but to be honest, my comedy style and what I enjoy is a little, 30-06 dwarfs a 5.56 round, and that's one of the most common hunting rounds. But you can't use them to hunt in Ohio. Ohio will only allow straight wall cartridges, which is like a pistol round. There's a couple rifle rounds too. But essentially I could hunt with like a rifle chambered in 45 ACP. Yeah, Ohio has some odd laws. Well, I mean, for like my carry, like I would, so we'll be talking about what I carry, and it's hollow points, by the way. You're irresponsible if you are carrying FMJ. I'm not grabbing it because I need just some like basic home defense. I'm grabbing it because shit is going wrong. Green tips penetrate better, Corbin. Green tips are typically what the military uses. They're federal green tips. They were on sale. That's the reason why they're in there. I almost bought some hollow points for the AR, but I was like, nah, because if stuff's going down, that's what I'm grabbing. I do typically tend to keep 3 loaded magazines, though, for the AR. So it's not like I don't try to remain stocked. Also, I plan on running for president. I believe I've already told you that, though, but I'm pretty serious about it at this point. We're at a point in time where if you have views that don't automatically meet with the lefts, you're Hitler. And if you have views that don't meet with the rights, you're a communist. And everyone wants to play identity politics until everyone hates each other. That's literally what's going on. It is a divide and conquer strategy. But yeah, I'm gonna run for president. It may be my dumbest idea I've ever had. And I'm pretty sure my hairline will jump back a lot further if I do. But it's for a good cause. Maybe I'll be old enough to vote for you. Hound, I won't be able to run until 2024. I won't be old enough to run next election. Which kind of makes me feel good. Like, that's the first thing in a while that's made me feel young. What the general feeling for the concealed carry laws in Ohio. My first job out of college could take me to Columbus, Ohio. So Ohio is very supportive of concealed carry. It'd be easier to kind of explain to you what our castle doctrine is, because our concealed carry is very similar. So stand your ground is not a thing in Ohio. You do have to warn someone that you have a firearm. Like, if you're breaking into my house and I draw a firearm, I have to warn you and allow you the opportunity to retreat. The loophole in that is to put a sign everywhere someone could break into your house, notifying them, hey, I will defend my house and my family with violent force if necessary. I wouldn't eat Kobe beef. I would probably also have like a White House cookout that would be like open to the public. We would sell it as like tickets, and it would be just enough to cover like your meal. Obviously, there would be like head counts, but I would be very much so the president that's for the people, by the people. Like that would literally be my end goal. I would be running because I would represent the blue-collared human beings, which is most of America, because I am one. I'm not out of touch with the people that I would be representing. I would very much so be one of those people. It's even like when you hear Bernie Sanders. So you always hear Bernie Sanders, who wants to give you this free shit, and he wants to tax people. What you don't always hear is that he also wants to tax you to pay for that free shit. And I mean tax you at a much higher rate than you currently are. So it's not free shit. You're paying for it. You're just forcibly paying for everyone else's, too. Now, the issue that I have with Bernie, and I wouldn't really call this an issue. Like, if you asked me if I thought he was like a terribly crooked human being, no, I just think he's a strange human being. Your warning is the pump sound from the 12 gauge. Yeah. That sound, if you're a criminal and you hear that sound, you should still go running. Well, that's because you live in California, Sabre. No offense to California, it's beautiful, but Jesus Christ, the tax rate out there is obnoxious. So, a big part of what my goal would be is I would also try to shrink our government. I would reduce government spending on things our government shouldn't be spending on. Move to Texas. You know, Sabre would probably love Texas. Not gonna lie. Just out of what I know of Sabre, it would really hit home with him. Florida is the 38 special. right, so Jordan, our concealed carry laws are way better than Florida's. You can concealed carry or open carry in Ohio. But again, it comes out to I have to be able to justifiably explain that my life was in danger, and I felt that violent force was the only result that would change that. Again, though, if someone's running from me, I can't shoot them in the back. It's the same concept. You have to give them the chance to retreat. They are currently working on passing stand your ground, though, here in Ohio. I would also probably be the first president to concealed carry. Hi. Now it's bright in here. It got really dark there. No open carry in Michigan. Hell, you can't even buy a stun gun in Michigan. But, yeah, it is what it is. Ohio's concealed carry is pretty easy to get to. It was like a 8-hour training course, and then one day I went down and applied to the sheriff's office. 3 hours later, I had my license. I'd have to cross Arizona. No thanks. Oh, Arizona. Arizona's beautiful, though. Because Texas is the greatest country. But yeah, the the reason why I'm wanting to run for president is A, because fuck identity politics. Identity politics are the biggest... It's the most bullshit I've ever heard in my entire life. It's literally saying, because you're incapable, we're going to help you and pander to you, even though those aren't your issues. They're not distinctively unique to your race. And it's bullshit. Second, none of these people understand you. And the first key that you should have had there, even with Trump, I received a small $1 million loan from my father. Bitch, if I received $1 million loan from my father, I would never have to work again in my life. Especially if it's not taxed. And let's face it, it wasn't a loan. He never paid that shit back. Just finished up Ant-Man and the Wasp. You know, I heard it was really good. I do want to see it once it comes out. I did just watch Ready Player One, which we're going to talk about here soon. Give everyone a trophy and whine about everything. I would fix this country greatly, and I would audit the shit out of the Federal Reserve. Which, by the way, that would be a fight, because they would try to tell me that I can't. In case you're not aware and you don't follow politics greatly, Senator Rand Paul has been trying to audit the Federal Reserve for a very long time, and it has been denied every time. Oh no, I would start an outrage about that shit. If you're not aware of this, the Federal Reserve is like one of the most corrupt organizations in the world. The IRS isn't the problem. The Federal Reserve is. The fact that our country doesn't coin its own money and has no control over its own inflation is a huge problem. It's all controlled by JP Morgan Chase and all of the big bankers in the continental U.S. Why live in America while dissing said America? I mean, I love America. I'm not going to lie, we have some problems. But we're still the best damn country in the world. At least by my standards. Well, Jonathan, if you come to Columbus, let me know. I'm always down to meet some fans. So, Matthew, out of curiosity, why do you feel Chase is the best bank? I'm not disagreeing with you, but technically no bank is a great bank. Did you know that the Federal Reserve has protections in place for if the banks were to ever lose all their money? You wouldn't get reimbursed. You would be fucked and out your money, but the bankers would get their money. So, like, JP Morgan, if he bellies up, he would still walk away with all his money, despite his bank losing all of yours. That's because of the Federal Reserve. And actually, the Federal Reserve, the way money happens in our country, the way that our government gets money for its funding, is it goes to the Federal Reserve and it asks for money, which it keeps this bank account with nothing actually in it. And then it essentially writes a check to the American government, which the American government then pays interest on, which is why it sells bonds, so government bonds. Corbin, yes and no. There's a lot of really shady things about banks. My mom used to be a banker. No, I agree with you. Chase is much better than Wells Fargo. Wells Fargo is literally the shit of banks. Well, let me know if you go to that developers conference, buddy. So a credit union will always be better than an actual giant bank. Not all credit unions. There are some credit unions that are still large and they don't give two shits about you. But a smaller credit union will typically take better care of you and your money than anyone else. But here in Ohio, we actually have a lot of local banks. So like Huntington is actually a local bank to Ohio. Same with Bank One used to be as well. But Bank One's now absorbed by Chase. But there's a lot of things that would change. I would also start mandating that companies start using environmentally safe, like when you go to Taco Bell, you need to either use a paper cup, which can be recycled easily, or we need to get rid of styrofoam and shit like that. Okay, I'm very environmentally conscious to some degree, and it has nothing to do with me wanting to you saying, "Oh, climate change, this and that." No, let's not treat our country like a shithole. The shittier we make it, the sooner we'll need to move to Mars. Space Force, here we come. And a lot of people get really confused by me on Twitter because 1 second I'll hate on the left and 1 second I'll hate on certain people on the right. And people are like very confused by that. I hate all politicians. Politicians don't give a shit about you. They have made their money by pandering to companies that will pay them to support what they want. Pandering to you is just their way of getting you to elect them. Even though, technically, the Electoral College can say, fuck what you want, we're electing this person. Yeah, lovely how that works, isn't it? But that's also part of the reason why we're not a full democracy. We are a democratic republic. Or a representative republic. It's also another way you can word that. But essentially, you are represented, or the majority is always attempted to be represented by other people, not by direct one-to-one votes. The Electoral College is supposed to vote in line with how the state does. They can vote against it, so that's how you wind up with someone winning the popular vote but losing the election. That's why you want to pander to areas with greater people. And a part of the reason why that is to make up for the people that might not vote. So it's a general census of this area is leaning this way. X amount of people didn't vote, but this area has X amount of people, so the Electoral College is making up for that. But the Electoral College was also created at a time when you may have voted for a fucking donkey because people just weren't generally smart. How are you going to raise funds for your running? It's all going to be grassroots. I will take certain company sponsorships if they're willing to sponsor me. Like if Alien Gear Holsters were to go, hey, rep a t-shirt of us while you're doing your thing, we'll donate to you. Sure. but I won't push your agenda. There's no agendas that will be pushed. If Squatty Potty were like, hey, can you drop... Actually, the way it would go for Squatty Potty was I would probably carry my Squatty Potty to a debate and then sit it down and be like, I'm going to need this because all your guys' arguments are shit, so I'm going to need some help getting them out. Sick burn. I don't think Hillary would have handled that well. And I'll probably still just be me. Like, if I get actually into a debate, which I doubt I will, I strongly doubt I would have any way of actually getting invited to one of the debates, you to push their agenda for sponsorship. So I'm already a member of the NRA. I would not take backing from the NRA to push their agenda. Now, what I would be willing to do is say Smith & Wesson came to me, and which I already carry a Smith & Wesson, they're like, hey, will you just state this is what you carry and we'll contribute money to your campaign? I'd be like, sure, because I already fucking carry it. That I would be cool with. But no, I mean, the NRA's agenda for the most part is very similar to mine with firearms, so there are a few things I would change about firearm legislation too, though. We will talk about that in a video. That's something I'm saving for a video. It actually wouldn't really be with legislation as much. It wouldn't be a law, so it's really hard to explain. You'll see when I get there. But no, I wouldn't take anything from anyone to push an agenda. I would do like sponsorships. Like I'd be willing to do like a commercial or like openly carry like a Smith & Wesson on my side. That stuff I would be cool with. I would be the first president to take sponsorships. I would not take one from McDonald's, because fuck McDonald's. I would need my Squatty Potty again. I would probably shit myself while eating it. Have Anita Sarkeesian sponsor you? No. I'll send you tacos if you push the Prime agenda. I mean, I will work for tacos. I'm cool with that. I like food a lot. But we need more guns and open carry in Michigan. And that's fine, because that would align with my particular views. But I'm not going to take money to push a company's agenda, even if it is the exact same thing as mine. The whole point is because I want to be for the people and by the people. That's literally what it is. I want to represent the person that I am, which is something you don't get anymore. Everyone in politics is filthy fucking rich. And I'll tell you this, one of the best quotes I've ever heard, I don't even remember who the fuck said it, but the only rich politician is a crooked politician. They're all rich now. All of them. Legalize extended clips and silencers. So, Matthew, this might come as a shocker, but those are all legal in Ohio. I can buy a 60-round drum barrel for my AR-15. Yeah. I can buy a silencer for it, too. I'm not dropping $500 to $600, though, on a silencer. By the way, for those of you who might have just cringed saying, oh, no, it's not a silencer, it's a suppressor, we call them suppressors because they don't silence the gun, but the original patent actually calls it a silencer. Nope, you're wrong, Chris. It is actually silencer. The original patent is silencer. We just cringe at it now because it makes people think that it's silent, but it's not. So most people refer to them as a suppressor now. But the original patent for it is silencer. Yeah, I thought that was really cool when I found that out. I like to research because I'm nerdy. You know. Extendo is slang. Arms extendo. Full auto in every state. I could watch porn and high-speed internet. So actually, there's one thing I would do. I would bring back net neutrality, but I would actually make it so that the internet has to be treated like a utility. Because that's what it is. It's a utility. It's at this point in time, the internet isn't like how cable TV is. You can survive without cable TV. The internet is at the point of where you can't get a fucking job without the internet. You need the internet to get your job, to fill out your application. Oh, we'll go to the library. Bitch, there ain't a lot of libraries left these days. So yeah, I would change it so the internet has to be treated like a utility. Cool fact, though, huh? I don't agree with the government meddling, but the government should keep its nose out of the fucking business of the internet. I would just make it so that providers couldn't piecemeal you the fucking internet. You should require an online ID using realms of net neutrality. No. Because then voicing your opinion, so don't get me wrong, there are some shitty people online, but then it becomes very much so like with, Nazis and how they like to put barcodes on people. There's certain things that need to remain anonymous, because you might voice an opinion that might be an unpopular opinion. Next thing you know, all of a sudden people are tracking down where you worked, get your ass fired. Now, don't get me wrong, if you're a jackass who throws a cup of drink in a kid's face at a restaurant because he's wearing a MAGA hat and then steal his hat as well while insulting him the whole time, and he's a high schooler, and you're like a 30-year-old man who bartends, yeah, you're a piece of shit. It's crazy that I don't think I've ever assaulted a Hillary supporter, nor have I thought about it. I'm not a Trump supporter either. Wouldn't assault them. Weird. Like gaming night with POTUS. We would make gaming a country sport. All right? We would take esports to a whole new level. And every time a school shooting happens, we wouldn't automatically blame guns or games. We would blame the shithead that did the shooting. Be crazy, wouldn't it? But I'm going to hop off here. Guys, I just wanted to drop that surprise, that little bomb on you guys. For those of you who just got here and haven't realized the channel's been rebranded. Evening. See you guys later.